Imagine spending your entire life in a cave. From birth, you're chained and unable to turn your head. All you see are shadows projected on the wall in front of you. They move, they make sounds, and for you, they are reality. But one day, someone comes and says, "This isn't real. These are just shadows, mere reflections of the real world." What would you do? Would you believe them, or would you laugh them off? Welcome to one of the most powerful ideas in the history of philosophy, Plato's Allegory of the Cave, a story about truth, illusion, and the courage to use your own mind. Today on Philostory, we'll uncover what this ancient allegory teaches us about reality, knowledge, and ourselves, and how it may be more relevant than ever. Plato lived in ancient Greece around 427 to 347 BC. He wasn't just another thinker. He was a student of Socrates and teacher of Aristotle, a central figure in a lineage that would shape philosophy, science, and politics for millennia. He founded the Academy in Athens, considered the first university in the Western world. Here, he taught more than philosophy. He taught how to think, to seek truth, challenge norms, and embrace the unknown. Much of what we know from Plato comes through dialogues, fictional conversations where ideas unfold. And in the Republic, he unveils his most famous metaphor, the allegory of the cave. This is not just an abstract tale, it's a mirror, one meant for us to look into. Picture this, a vast underground cave. In it, people sit chained, unable to move their heads. All they can see is the wall in front of them. Behind them burns a fire. Between the fire and the prisoners, figures move objects and puppets. The shadows of these objects are cast on the wall, and that's all the prisoners see. That's all they know. To them, the shadows are reality. They even give names to the shapes. They believe they understand the world, but in truth, they only know the wall. Now imagine, one prisoner is freed. At first, he's overwhelmed. The light hurts. He resists, but slowly, he turns around. He sees the fire, the puppets, the mechanism. Step by step, he's brought upward out of the cave. Blinded by the sun, he stumbles, but soon he sees trees, colors, sky, the real world. And with horror, he realizes everything he knew was an illusion. Moved by compassion, he returns to the cave. He wants to help the others, but they laugh, they mock. Some even become violent because he threatens their reality. The allegory is a metaphor for the human condition. The cave represents ignorance, a life lived without questioning. The shadows are illusions, societal beliefs, media narratives, dogmas, unexamined assumptions. The fire, that's partial truth, perhaps science without wisdom. And the sun, that represents the ultimate truth, what Plato calls the form of the good. The journey upward symbolizes education, self-examination, and the painful process of growth, leaving behind comfort in search of clarity. The chains that bind us are internal: fear, conformity, ego, habits. The cave may not be physical, but it is real, and many never leave because it's easier to believe the shadows than confront the uncertainty of the unknown. Plato's cave isn't ancient history, it's now. Our caves are digital. Our shadows, filtered feeds, clickbait headlines, algorithmic bubbles. We believe what we see on screens. We rarely question who controls the images or why. What if your worldview is based not on reality, but on shadows cast by others? To escape the modern cave is to be uncomfortable, to face truths that disrupt our identity, politics, or beliefs. But that's what growth demands. Plato reminds us, real knowledge comes at a price, and not everyone wants to pay it. The allegory of the cave isn't just a story, it's a call to awaken, a challenge across time. It whispers from 2,400 years ago, what is your truth made of, and who taught it to you? Plato does not give us answers. He gives us discomfort, a discomfort that gnaws at certainty, that pries open our worldview, that urges us to move, even when we fear what lies beyond the cave walls. To leave the cave means letting go of convenience, of borrowed opinions. It means taking responsibility for what we think, feel, and believe. It is not a journey of arrogance, but of humility, because real knowledge begins with the admission, I might be wrong. And when you step out, really step out, something beautiful happens. You begin to see, not just with your eyes, but with your mind, with your conscience, with your humanity. The sunlight of truth is not always gentle. It can be harsh, blinding, full of contradiction, but it gives life, it gives warmth, and above all, it gives freedom. Today, we live in a world of infinite images, narratives, and distractions. Our modern caves are brighter, louder, and more addictive than ever. But Plato's message cuts through the noise. Ask better questions, seek the real, think for yourself, and perhaps the greatest act of love is not comfort, but challenge, not shadow, but light. So ask yourself, what do you believe? Why do you believe it? What parts of your world are shadows? And what are you willing to risk to see clearly? The cave is not just theirs, it's yours, it's ours, and we must choose every day whether to remain or rise. That's it for today. Thank you for watching Philostory. Subscribe for more journeys into timeless ideas that shape who we are, challenge who we think we are, and light the way to who we could become.